Welcome back to the Stick 'em Up podcast. Brundi, we got a lot of Olympic talk that we can jump right into here. The Olympics are finally underway. We're seeing a lot of that. So, in fairly short order, we'll get to that. But right off the top, I believe you have something for us here.
Yeah, and it's something that kind of glossed over pretty quickly, and upon seeing it afterwards, I don't know how we missed it, and that is the overtime format when it comes to the
Yeah,
Olympics. Specifically, basically the bronze and gold medal game,
the
in the
medal
way that
games,
the
the
overtime is
the most important
structured.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that is that in the bronze medal game, 10 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime, and if no goal is scored, it would then just go to a five-man shootout, which shouldn't ever be the case in a medal game for it to end in a skills competition, essentially.
sure, but at least we're kind of used to that. At least we're kind of used to Olympics having uh, the tiebreaker be a shootout.
Hmm.
Um, Uh, Obviously, anyone who watches much hockey would prefer 5-on-5. But
Yeah. And well, that gets us to the gold medal game. 3-on-3 overtime. It is sudden death. There is no shootout. It is next goal wins. But 3-on-3?
to me, this is
Like,
worse
what's
than
the
a
rush
shootout.
to get it over with? Like,
The
if
whole
it's got to
exactly
be a four overtime game, why not?
it. The entire point of 3-on-3 overtime and the shootout is so that they can get to the news later. They can wrap it up. It's so that games don't go forever in the regular season in the NHL. Are we actually like afraid that a gold medal game goes to triple overtime? And are they gonna think that's a
Yeah.
waste of time? That's gonna be the most watched game in history.
Yeah.
Like, what I get why they wouldn't do it for the preliminary round. I get why they wouldn't even do it for early on in the
Like the
round robin.
quarterfinals and
Yeah, the round robin part. For the gold medal games, oh my god. I don't care if it goes 10 overtimes, dude. People are watching that.
I'm gonna be seated for all 10 of those overtimes.
Like, that's that's crazy that
It
they're
is
doing it this way.
it
Whoever
is
wins.
really bad. And that's why, everybody always kind of says like, "Oh, if it goes to the gold medal game, I hope it goes to overtime and we get another goal." I don't want overtime even at
We
this
don't want it
point.
anymore. No, you want it in regular. Don't get me wrong. If Canada wins in overtime 3-on-3, I'm
I'm
gonna
still gonna be
be
celebrating.
I'm gonna be cheering so hard I shit my pants, no matter how it happens.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna have the same charm if it's McDavid enters the zone, he curls back, he passes it off. McDavid goes off and line changes. They come back in. They circle around. They change again. They come back in. 3 minutes later, now you've got McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby out there against guys who have been out there for 5 minutes, and they score the easiest tap in goal. Like, that's not near the cinema that we're used to with this tournament. So,
Yeah.
uh, regardless of who wins or loses, I really hope it happens in regulation, especially in those medaling games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. I completely missed it
I
when
haven't heard
going through the
anybody
rules.
be happy with it.
Yeah, no, and I don't think anyone is. Like everybody again, like you said, they can understand for the round robin, the quarters, the semis, but and even to a certain extent for the bronze, I think even the bronze, even at least do 3-on-3 sudden death. I mean, it should just be 5-on-5 sudden death, and then
Yeah.
but for the gold medal game especially, like, yeah,
Which
I
which,
don't want it to
which
go
do you
overtime
prefer?
now.
3-on-3 overtime or a shootout? If it had
I
to
th-
settle a big game.
I think still 3-on-3 overtime.
I think I've act most of my life I would have agreed with you. I think I've reached a point where there's more cinema to be had in a shootout. Guys have gotten to we've seen 3-on-3 when it was fresh. It was just less players and more room. Now there's this whole meta of curling back, and Like,
That is
just
true.
watch.
And that is very
Even when
true.
your team has possession, it kind of feels like pulling teeth at times, and it's like
I think I'm at the point where I
at
think
least we could get a TJ Oshie moment with a shootout. Like,
yeah, so I'm at the position, I'll say, where I think I would definitely be more it would be more what's the word used? I like more invested in whatnot in cinematic in a shootout, absolutely.
right.
That being said, I hate the idea of championship games or medal games ending in a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm like, again, the
It
shootout
should be 5
would
on
be more
5.
entertaining and whatnot. But I hate the idea that it comes down to a shootout, the thing we want to get rid of more than anything, to say you're the best. Because again, you are the best, but it doesn't feel the same as being like
Yeah.
won the game regulation or we beat them in overtime. Like it came down to a shootout. It's not quite the same in my opinion. It still is a win,
Shootout.
but
Yeah. Shootout is like a skills competition. To me, 3-on-3 is basically almost an entirely different sport. Obviously, it's majority the same, but it's different almost the same way like a field hockey is different. Like there's less guys, so now you're moving. Nobody's doing zone coverage 3-on-3. It's always man to man and just like circling back and all that. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's just so different. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
that they're not just doing 5-on-5, even if it was only for the medal games or only the elimination games. What
Yeah.
what do you have? It's the Olympics, man. It's a medal Olympics game. What do you have to get to afterwards that you can't have it run long if it is tied?
Mhm.
And it only runs long if it's a close game that everyone will be watching. Like
Yeah.
like a 4-0 victory doesn't go to the extra time, so it wouldn't matter. Like it only happens with close ones. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's
It's not ideal.
hopefully it just doesn't come up. Hopefully it just doesn't come up, but it probably will.
Yeah.
Uh,
But we can move on from that. We can move on into our next topic. This is something you um don't know anything about this. You haven't seen anything to do with this. Before we get
nope,
into
I
talking
haven't
about
even seen thumbnails or anything. I
that's
I
even
didn't know
better.
this was a thing at all.
So before we kind of dive into talking about the games that we've seen so far, as every team has now played their first game, there was an article that came out. Again, Braden has not seen any of this. It is from ESPN,
Nope.
and it is ranking the top 50 players heading into the Olympic tournament, and it is
Are these
NHL
only
only
guys
players.
in?
Yeah, NHL
So
only
it's not,
players.
but it's probably all NHL players, not just the ones going to the Olympics.
No,
Like our Russian. It's only
yeah,
Olympians.
yeah. So it's ranking
So
NHL players that are in the Olympics.
oh, okay. So there aren't going to be Russian players
Yeah, no,
or stuff of that nature. Oh, okay.
yeah, no, none of them.
Interesting.
And this isn't an official ranking of necessarily how the writer feels about these players. It's based on adjusted goals above replacement. An
Oh,
average over
okay.
the
So it's a
last
model.
three, yeah, an average over the last 3 seasons, or
Ah,
two and a half ish. Um,
this
and
season
for
and then
those
the
who don't
previous
know
two. Right.
what goes above replacement, GAR as they call it, it's basically just a model to value a player's total impact on the game through
Yeah.
I mean for most players, offense, defense, and then goalies kind of in their own separate thing.
Yeah.
So this is the top 50, but it did include a few honorable mentions who did not make the top 50. So I'll just throw them out if there's any you want to talk about with all of this. You just let me know.
Sure.
At 145, who we'll be talking a lot about in a bit, Jordan Binnington,
Okay. I
145.
mean,
And again,
they're
with
talking about the
goalies,
last few
it's
seasons. It's different
yeah,
with
it
goalies,
is.
and
Yeah,
uh, he's been abysmal in the regular season. We know that.
yeah.
But us Canadians who are paying attention, we weren't worried about it either.
103, Gabriel Landeskog. I mean, he
Makes
doesn't have
sense.
enough of a sample size, so
He didn't play for a lot of that, and
yeah,
when he finally did come back, he's been good considering his injury because
yeah.
he's still clearly not up to speed fully, but He's playing pretty well now.
And 96, Jacob Slavin.
Okay, over the last 3 seasons. So that's kind of your benchmark for the defensive guys at this point. That just shows you how little this kind of takes defense into account then.
Number 80, Matthew Tkachuk.
Missed a lot of time in this season.
It's kind of what I'm noticing with a lot of these guys.
His best seasons are kind of in the last, like his last 2.5 or his last 3 years now hasn't really been some of his best hockey outside the playoffs. Obviously, like I think his best single season performance still has to be that Calgary one, right?
One with the Flames. A lot of these guys that are down here is guys that have been injured or missed significant amount of time. Like at number 69, Brady Tkachuk. 68, Mika Zibanejad. Number 60, Victor Hedman.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of time this year.
This time injured. 54, Jack Hughes. But again,
frankly, he's missed enough time that it's almost impressive he's that high.
And now we can get into the top 50 here. And it is worth noting.
Between Slavin and Hedman being that low down, I feel like defense is going to be even more underrated than it normally is on things like this.
Well,
I imagine it's going to be a lot of offensive.
The top 50, he's not in the other notables, and he's not in the top 50, so he's somewhere below 50. Miro Heiskanen. So we won't be mentioning Miro Heiskanen's name on the top 50.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising. 50, we have Moritz Seider.
Okay.
49, Philip Forsberg. 48, Tomas Hertl. 47, Darcy Kemper. I know you'll love this one. 46, Rasmus Dahlin.
Wow.
But again, has missed some. Actually, he really didn't miss much time.
He's missed a couple of stints throughout the last few years. None of them are too much time, but you know, he's missed 6 games here, 6 games there.
And I guess on a Buffalo team that wasn't great before this year as well. Can be a little bit tough too. 45, Jeremy Swayman.
That makes sense.
44, Philip Grubauer.
Holy shit.
Grubauer,
I'm sorry.
2 years ago, who had his 1.4 last season was a negative 6.5, and this season up to a 17.6.
So he basically got here only on this season's
season because he's been that good.
But he hasn't been that good. He's been really good this
Apparently
year. You're telling me this season of Philip Grubauer has done more to win games for the Kraken than Jack Hughes has done in 3 years with the Devils? Even with the amount of games he's missed, that doesn't add up there, Chief.
It's wild. I mean, Phil Grubauer is tied for 3rd in the league in save percentage.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, he's been fantastic, but he doesn't even have the most starts for his team. And this is the only year out of the last 3 that he's been doing anything, if even on the NHL roster. I'm trying to think now who's what goalies are going to be at the very top.
We do have another goalie at 43. We have Jake Ottinger.
Oh, okay.
42, Nikolai Ehlers. 41, Brad Marchand. Number 40, Jesper Wallstedt.
There he is. I was gonna say he's been a little bit better than Grubauer this year, and this is his only year to really qualify.
39, Brock Nelson. 38, Rupe Hintz. 37, Adrian Kempe. 36, Tom Wilson. Well, I love some Tom Wilson. These are all guys that seem
comparable for how much value they bring to a team. This seems accurate for the last couple there.
35, Tim Stützle. So it almost kind of feels like maybe a step up from that.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little
From
bit of a
36 to
step up from
35. From Tom
Kempe
Wilson to Tim
Fiala.
Stützle.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit up.
34, Dylan Larkin. 33, Shea Theodore. 32, Jake Sanderson. 31, Clayton Keller.
Damn, that's crazy. Jake Sanderson's like, and he's like young too. Like that might include his rookie year
Yeah.
or something. So, man, he's right up there.
I don't think it would count as rookie year. I think it'd be a 2 after. Actually, it might. I'm not too sure.
I
I'm
can
not
take a
gonna
look at that.
say anything. Okay. Yeah, no, because he's in his 4th season now, is he not?
I missed a single letter, and it's gonna say this guy doesn't exist. Come on,
I
Hockey
hate when
DD,
that
you know what
happens.
I'm doing here. It would cut out his rookie year. Yeah,
Okay, it would.
We're right now halfway through his 4th season.
Okay.
Although, just looking at his counting stats, his rookie year wouldn't have really pulled it down very much.
Yeah, no.
He had a pretty good year, so.
At number 30, we have Braden Point, which is kind of surprising. It does kind of seem like this list values this season a little bit more than the other
Yeah.
two, even though it takes you 3 average and Braden Point hasn't. I mean, he was starting to pull it together near the end, but
Yeah. He really pulled it together. I was surprised how much he brought it back, because for a while there, he was like under half a point a game. Like he was like it was abysmal. And like now I think he's got 30 points in 37 or 38 games. Like he's not crazy far back of a point per game. Like he was playing at a 95 point pace on a full season since mid December ish.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm still thrown for a loop for between Wallstedt and Gustafsson of like that's a lot of it put on just this season, and those aren't even the starters for those teams. Like
Grubauer, you mean?
hell, yeah, like
Dude, just accept that Grubauer's good.
he's very good this season, but like this is supposed to be over 3 seasons. Like Hellebuck's got to be a top 5 shoe in.
No,
Either
we
this
haven't come
model
across
loves
him yet.
goalies or it loves this season.
This season.
In which case, Dan Vladar might be next.
29, we have Lucas Raymond. 28, Mark Stone. 27,
Really?
Tage Thompson. 26,
sense.
Matt Boldy. And funny enough, right above him, 25, Nick Suzuki. And, well, we'll just take you a step further. 24, Sebastian Aho. So all kind of, first line forwards,
Yeah.
but also pretty solid defensively. It's kind of fitting
A
that
lot
they're
of
all
those,
right in there.
yeah, a lot of those guys that are bona fide first line centers that a lot of people will say should be second line centers on a cup team, which I don't necessarily agree with. You just have to build your team the right way.
Yeah, look at Barkov. It's not like Barkov's a career 100-plus point guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he is the best. I mean, he's the best defensive center in hockey, obviously, but you can build around those type of players.
Yeah,
The Kings did it with
Suzuki puts up 90 points.
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously
it's nice to have more. Do you need more out of your first line center? If he's good defensively still, not really.
Yeah.
That goals could be made up elsewhere. That's what the wingers are for.
Yeah. Bit of a jump. Actually, not really. They have the exact same 3 average. Going from Aho 24. At 23, we have Quinn Hughes.
Okay.
Definitely has fallen because of this season. Like 2 years ago, 26.5 was his rating. Last year, 20.6. And then this year, 11.7. So he has pulled it up a bit since going to Minnesota, but it
was a rough go to start this year
with Vancouver.
in Vancouver.
Yeah. 22, Philip Gustafsson. So
makes sense.
It's
been very good.
21. Want to take a guess who's at 21?
21. Well, we just went over a guy like Suzuki. I'm
You know
gonna
what, I'll give you the ratings from the last 3 seasons. 2 years
okay.
ago, 29.4. Last year,
Okay.
16.7. So almost a 13-point fall off. And then this year, 14.3.
So even more fall off this year than the second year.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews at number
I
21.
did, yeah. I was like,
Austin Matthews at
why
21.
would he be asking this? Who would have fallen that much? Okay,
And so his 3-year average 17.6. Do you want to take a guess who's right above him at number 20?
John Tavares.
Tavares isn't in the Olympics. So I'll give you
You're
a
so
re-guess.
right.
Could have been.
Brandon Hagel.
Mitch Marner,
Mitch Marner, 1 point above.
1 point
It,
above.
yeah,
0.1
that makes
above
sense.
of Matthews, yeah. They're right in there. Number 19, Jake Gensel. Jake
It's
Gensel
been very
cracking
good.
the top 20. Same rating as Marner, actually, 17.7.
He at some point, I don't know. I
Going to
started
Tampa was
becoming,
the best
uh,
decision he could have ever made
yeah,
because he
like
just fits so well there. And the talent he gets to play with on top of that.
yeah, like he. I don't know. Is it right to say he became a little underrated? Like, I'm not going to say he's the most underrated guy in hockey or nothing. People know Gensel's good, but like, I feel like at a certain point he got people like locked him in at that like lower elite, like in the elite tier, but like on the lower end of it because he always played with Crosby, and then he immediately went and started playing with Kucherov. Like, I feel like people,
I don't think he's necessarily underrated. I think he just gets overshadowed because he's playing with franchise
yeah,
level guys. Like when he's playing with
that might
Crosby,
be more accurate.
top 3 player in the league. Playing with Kucherov, you could argue top 3 player in the league. I think it's just he does so many good things, it just gets overshadowed because Kucherov puts up 95 points in the month of January, and it's like,
Yeah,
of course, that's all we're gonna talk about.
yeah,
But
that's
I do
fair.
kind of also do get what you're saying. Number 18, Sam Reinhart.
That makes sense. He had what, 57 goals 2 years ago? Something like
He had
that?
a lot. 17, Willem Nylander. 16, Sidney Crosby,
Okay. I mean, it makes
which
sense,
I think is
he's
is fair.
he's still been producing at an elite level, but, that's 95, 90, 91 points, something like that in the last 3 years,
Hmm.
and there's guys out there going 120, 110, 120. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I was just about to say, where's Panarin gonna end up on the list, but I guess he won't be on here.
around here. Number 15, Brandon Hagel.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, dude dude's an animal, scores a lot, and obviously he's also good defensively, so that
Mhm.
bumps it up a little bit too.
Number 14, Logan Thompson. Number
Makes sense.
13, Josh Morrissey.
Wow, that much higher than Quinn Hughes.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm telling you, the Vancouver from the trade deadline onward, basically last year, and well,
yeah,
the start of this season, like really tanked them. But then, I mean, Winnipeg was pretty. Like Josh Morrissey's still a 19.8 on the season,
damn.
despite
Their
how
top
bad
guy their
Winnipeg's
top guys don't
has
look
been.
bad at all. All their top guys look the same as last year. It's just like their bottom 6
Their
was
depth is,
replaced with plastic hockey players they're trying to pass off as
yeah.
guys. Like, it makes no
Well,
sense.
at 12, Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor? Yep, there he is, as I say. Wouldn't be shocked.
11, Jack Eichel.
It feels like a good spot
10,
for him.
Macklin Celebrini.
As
Celebrini
I say,
cracking the top 10.
I figured he'd be on there, and he's only got 2 seasons to go on, but I don't know. It seems like this season matters a little bit more, which I guess makes sense for a more modern list, so that a guy who like
Hmm.
has sucked the last few years, but like if he won a big award 3 years ago, he doesn't get juiced in the rankings.
Yeah,
Um, so obviously this insane season he's having right now helps a lot with that.
absolutely. Number 9, Mikko Rantanen. Number 8, Martin Necas. So right
Good for him.
right beside each other. Yeah, very very good for Necas.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to
25.7 this
untangle
season.
themselves. They're
Yeah,
never going to be
no.
able to untangle themselves anymore. You got
Yeah,
traded for each other, it's over.
it's the way it goes. Number 7, Zach Werenski.
He's people are
Second highest
starting to
defenseman on
recognize
the
how good
list.
he is, but I'm still thinking he's one of the most underrated guys in the league right now. I don't think people realize how good he is.
He's top 3 defenseman. Number 6, Connor Hellebuck.
There he is. Okay, I got to imagine that's the last goalie on the list.
Yeah. Last 3 seasons, 28.1, 30.1, and this season, 10.8. So quite a bit of a fall off for Hellebuck this season.
Yeah, but
Number
so have all the Jets, and he also had some surgery, which we saw Vasilevsky regress down to a 905 save percentage when he had surgery, and then it's right back to Vezina form the next year. So it's hard to blame Bucky too much for it.
Which means we're into the top 5. Any guesses who's at number 5?
Okay, I'm thinking number 1. I don't even think it's McDavid. I think it's McKinnon. I think McKinnon, McDavid. You got 3 other guys in there. We've gone through a lot of the best players, man. Like who else? Who else up there? I guess Makar's also up there. I don't even know who the other 2 would be. We're out of goalies. I guess I just have to guess Makar at number 5.
David Pasternak.
Pasternak.
At 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Number 4,
Yeah.
the other guy you didn't mention, Leon Draisaitl.
I was gonna say I knew that they weren't guys on Team Canada or Team USA at this point.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
it's
a lot of
hard when you're
sense.
kind of trying to just rip through every team quickly in your head.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Well, especially so many of them. It's like, what about this guy? Well, he's not at the Olympics. What about this guy?
Yeah.
He's not at the Olympics. Kaprizov, fuck, he's not there either.
Yeah. Number 3, Connor McDavid.
It is McDavid. Okay.
26.9 is his total over the last 3 seasons. Jumping up to 27.7 at number 2, Cale Makar.
Makar. I was gonna say,
And then
McKinnon's got to be number 1.
a jump of 5 for a 3-year average of 32.7, Nathan McKinnon. This season, to be fair, he is at a 39.
I mean, he scored 1 million goals already. Like,
Yeah.
we were partway through December
dominant.
and we knew the Rocket Richard winner already.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
he's
crazy
been
when it's
unreal
put in
with it.
perspective like that, just how dominant and consistent McKinnon's been over the last 3 seasons, and especially dominant this season. Because he's just scoring every night or doing something. And again, the Avs are the best team in the league, so it kind of makes sense that they would have 1 and 2.
Yeah, 100%. I did think Makar would be a little bit lower than that. I wouldn't have been shocked at all if he was 5 behind, McKinnon, McDavid, Pasternak, and Draisaitl.
Yeah, but he's also a defenseman
just
that put up
because
30 goals last year.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying, like, the way the lists had gone, it didn't love defensive stats as much.
That
which
is
he
true.
might be which might be the area where he'd have a leg up on him. Because, he had 30 goals, but, how many did Draisaitl have? He won the Rocket last year.
I mean, that is true.
I figured the offensive stats might carry them above the defender, but, I mean, yeah. Makar, there's a reason nobody's really arguing who the top defenseman in the league is.
Yeah, that is very true. But that is the list of the top 50 players.
That's good.
NHL players, at least, going to the Olympics.
I'd love to see the list without that caveat. Just the best 50 players in the NHL right now. Like, Involve all the guys who didn't get to go for Team Canada or Team USA. Include
Yeah.
Russian players, stuff like that. Because yeah, it'd be cool to see where they land.
But with that, we can move into the games. The Olympics are have been officially underway.
Before we get to that,
you did have
I
something.
have a little something, and this is Olympics related, so it kind of segues nice. But just a quick bit of trivia that I found earlier. And it sounds insane, and that's why it's fun, right? But did you know that Team Germany actually has more team success at the Olympics for ice hockey than Team Russia? Which sounds ludicrous. But once you look at the stats online, it starts to make sense. Germany has 1 silver medal and 2 bronze medals compared to Russia's 1 silver and 1 bronze. I know that you know your puck. You already probably know mostly where this is going. That's because Russia's official team only has 1 silver, 1 bronze.
Yeah.
That is because the Russian Olympic, they've been split up into so many different teams. The Russian Olympic Committee has 1 silver. The unified team, which was made up of all Russian players back in the 80s, has 1 gold. The Olympic athletes from Russia, I believe that was in Pyeongchang, have 1 gold. And the Soviet Union have 7 gold medals. So obviously, Russian players have a lot more than that. But the official Russian team has never won gold. They only have 1 silver, 1 bronze. Also, Great Britain, I didn't check the year.
Yeah.
Great Britain's got a gold. It might have been back in the 50s or 40s or something, but they got a gold at some point, so
they
good
got
for
a gold
them.
at some point. I did not know that. I never really thought of it that way, but when you put it that way, yeah. And
It's crazy how many gold
chance for
medals they
Russia this
have.
year.
Like, they have so many gold medals under different things, but not a single one under just Team Russia
Yeah.
when there isn't,
Yeah.
a war going on. They're named the Soviet Union. They have the enhancement drug scandals. Like, they've just had so many things go on.
Yeah.
I believe it was only 15 teams have ever gotten a medal in ice hockey at the Olympics when I was looking. And so many of them are like just ones like that being broken up. Like, that's 15 different ones, including the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Russian teams. Plus, there's also medals from Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. So there's like another 3 teams that, like, obviously they're different countries, but they kind of came from the same spot. At the very least, Czechoslovakia did. So there's not a lot of different places that have actually gotten the medals.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. But I guess now we can dive into the games. Do you want to just do them in order that we got them here?
Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way for us to do it.
Kind of just go through
How
one
many
at
of
a
these
time,
games did you
talk
watch?
a bit about them, and 1, 2, 3. Wait, what's that one? Because there's 6. So about
I think I watched
4 and a
about
half.
2.5.
Okay, I got about 4.5 because I was kind of back and forth between the US and Latvia and Germany, Denmark. I didn't see an ounce of the Switzerland France game.
Yeah, I saw JJ Moser score a goal. I saw his highlight, and that was it from that game.
Yeah, I because the way the Olympics work, just
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Middle of the night, and
yeah,
we knew, I kind of knew Switzerland was going to win, so I didn't feel the need to get up for that one. But Slovakia getting off to a good start, knocking off Finland in the opening game. Slavkovsky continuing his incredible Olympic success. What's he up to now? I think nine goals in 8 Olympic games.
Yeah, like
scoring 2 here against Finland.
He's got 9 goals representing his country at the Olympics. When does he turn 22? Because he's not there
Yeah.
yet. Jesus Christ, dude! Like
Yeah.
that. It was his games where he represented his country that ended up pushing him over the edge to get selected first
Like,
overall. And
yeah, got him to first.
man, at a
Dude
certain
just
point,
loves to
Canadian
be
fans are
playing
going
for
to
his
be like,
country.
"Bro, what's wrong with us?" Like at a certain
Mhm.
point, if he doesn't start doing that for them, they're going to be like, "Dude, can you give us a little bit of that freaking Jordan secret stuff? Like, what the hell?"
Yeah. Eli Tolvanen getting Finland's only goal of the game. Dvorsky and Brzezinska getting the other 2. Saros didn't look super great for
He didn't look fantastic. He
Finland.
also didn't really look bad, I wouldn't say. Um, I'm trying to think
Eh,
of each of the goals and like I don't know how many of them he really got beat clean on. You could definitely argue he should have poke checked Slavkovsky on the first goal or something, but
mhm.
I know Slavkovsky's second goal was just an absolute snipe and it was like through traffic. They weren't expecting a shot. Like that one's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it just wasn't.
it's never great when you get 4 dropped on you.
Well, not only because what one wasn't the didn't they have an
Oh, you
empty
know
netter?
what?
I think they had an
Yes,
empty
one of
netter.
only 3. Yeah, I remember that because I was actually kind of a little bit annoyed with that call because um, for those who haven't seen the empty net goal, they're skating down the ice and Slavkovsky beats the defenseman is trying to get the puck past, and the guy just grabs his stick and takes it. And so Slavkovsky has to kick it down the rest of the ice until his teammates get there and finally bat it in. And I was like, he was kind of free with that puck. As soon as that guy took his stick, that should have been an awarded goal because that would have been a hat trick at the Olympics for him.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
Like
be. You gotta be like on a clear break when like no one kind of like can
it
stop
was
you.
only
Like it's
those 2,
guaranteed you're gonna score.
but it was only those 2 left, and the guy deemed himself out of the play enough that he bear hugged the guy's stick and fell down with it. Like
I mean, I guess, but yeah, refs
it
are just
wasn't
letting
guaranteed, but
the
the
boys
same way
play.
Patrick Stefan's goal wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true. But Slavkovsky
But
does end the game
didn't
with 3
didn't
points.
didn't change the outcome either way.
Yeah.
Slovakia, we both had them doing pretty well in the tournament, and yeah, starting off strong.
It's a very good start against a Finland team that I don't know how to feel about yet. Their defense obviously isn't great by any means. It's so weird seeing Miro Heiskanen wearing number 41. It's just
Yeah,
fucking
there's a lot
weird.
of
I didn't,
mixed up numbers.
yeah, I didn't love that.
Who's
Um,
wearing 4? If he's
uh,
changed his number,
whatever the one
because
Finnish defenseman who actually plays in Finland, his name is
oh okay,
slipping my mind. Um, where is he on here?
but yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't
Slovakia
even
looked
know.
really good, and they might be a bit of a problem for some of these teams coming
Oh,
up.
Mikko
I think
Lehtinen.
Lehtinen,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Czechia and Slovakia are both teams that I think have a huge chance to play spoiler for a lot of other teams that get complacent, think they're going to be able to breeze past them.
Hmm.
I think there are 2 teams primed to upset some of the more favored teams.
Absolutely, yeah.
Uh,
Next game we can move on to Sweden and Italy. Sweden
Italy
winning
hung
this
2 up on
game
them.
5-2, and Italy getting the opening goal in the first, just a little bit past the 4-minute mark of the first period. Got the building rocking pretty early on there.
How at risk do you think Gustafsson is at losing the crease? If
I
they get a
mean,
really good performance out of the backup, who's the backup Is it Wallstedt or is it
But then they got
who's the other
Wallstedt and
goalie?
Markstrom. I think they'd probably go Wallstedt first. And Sweden, they didn't play today, and they don't play on the last day, which means they have a back-to-back coming up. So, 4:10 tomorrow morning, our time. The day this will be coming out, Sweden and Finland.
I don't think they give
That's
Gustafsson that
that's going to
start
be an
anymore.
early wake up. That's going to be an early wake up call for me. But and then on the following day they play Slovakia. So Gustafsson's going to be sitting at least one of those games. And I think tomorrow against Finland, you throw out whoever
I think they go Wallstedt,
you
and
go Wallstead and see what he does. And
if he performs well, I think he might have already stolen it. Since it's a back-to-back, they probably go Wallstedt, and then they, regardless of how he does, they give Gustafsson a chance to take it back, depending on how good Wallstedt looks.
mhm. And
But
it's not like Wallstead, was a huge, like worst game of his career. Like he had a 900 save percentage. He allowed 2 goals on 22 shots. Good on Italy for getting 22 shots. But it realistically should have been a shutout. Like both
yeah,
those goals he should have saved, especially the first one. I mean, the first one he
well, I was gonna say the first one
just
for sure. The second one, I'll hear an argument that he shouldn't have. The defense blew their assignment like crazy, and a guy got a pass, and it was just a guy wide open in the
but he was able to get over
slot
there
off to
time,
the
and
side.
he almost had it. He almost was able
True,
to.
but it's a one-on-one player versus goalie.
Mhm,
Like, I'm not gonna put that
mhm.
on the goalie.
But there's no. I'm not
If you're
saying
getting
like
paid a lot, maybe.
I'm not saying it's completely so, but I'm saying realistically, he probably should have gotten a shutout in the game. I think the game goes
Definitely that
totally
first
different if
goal
he
should have
doesn't.
happened for sure.
Yeah, if the first one doesn't happen, it's probably a completely
Hell,
different game.
even if he gets scored on in a different way, the fact that it was so early, like, it was, like, 5 minutes in, the puck gets launched in, and he somehow drops the puck and his stick. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even really know how that happens. You gotta assume it's just jitters. He's at the
yeah,
Olympics.
nerves.
Um,
Yeah,
there was a couple other times throughout the game where he looked nervous. He was looking a lot more loosey goosey than he normally does, let's say. So,
hmm
um, I I would not be shocked if they were like, he's a great goalie, but maybe the pressure's a bit much in these big games. I don't think
yeah,
he's lost the spot, but he's definitely they're definitely opening the door to other options now in
yeah,
Sweden. Um, and good for Italy. Like, people were talking about, like, are they going to score even 2 or 3 goals in this entire tournament? They've already got two. Like,
yeah, and yeah, but that's huge for them. The one thing I didn't like from Italy was the goalie pull near the end, which resulted in Victor Hedman's over or empty net goal. I didn't like that from Italy. I mean, yeah, it's 4-2, but like realistically, you're not coming from behind to win the game. And in this tournament, especially, goal differential does matter because that'll determine who potentially you could play in the um, quarterfinals. And
right.
so you now lost by 3 to Sweden. You kind of got to hope that when France plays Canada, that France loses by 4 or more now, because that's probably the team you're going to
What
be tied with.
what difference does it make?
It's a,
What would the actual
I think it's a huge difference between playing Czechia potentially in the quarterfinals versus playing Slovakia
okay.
potentially,
Um
or maybe even a Czechia to a Switzerland, or from a yeah,
right.
kind of like teams around that level.
Okay. I definitely get that sentiment. I'm definitely on the other side of it though. I love even if he didn't believe it in his heart, I love that the coach is going to put out there, we are not out of the game. And like, we're all watching, we're all like, Italy's not gonna tie Italy's not gonna score two, tie it up, and then score a third to win the game. Like nobody's watching there thinking that's going to happen, but I love that he had that confidence in his team, or even that
And
he's willing to
and I get that,
project he
but
believes in his team,
I think in
because
the
they need
Olympics, yeah,
that
look at the
more than they
long
need.
run.
I think that will actually help them play. I think Italy, with that extra bit of confidence against the better team, has more of a chance than Italy without that, just playing to survive against a lower team. Because unless they play France, and even if they play France, frankly, they might be
They
the lowest team
won't play France.
regardless. Okay, like they're no matter who they play, basically they're the lowest. They're always the underdog. They can't even be an even match really
Mhm.
anywhere in this tournament. You have to catch magic, and that's your only chance. You're not going to beat them by skill or any of that. And
Sure you could.
they're not beating Canada
No, but
by
if you're Italy and you
skill.
in the quarter you play Switzerland or Germany, you could outwork them and potentially win. It's not very likely, but you would at least have a sliver of a chance. Again, you're probably still losing by 3 or more, but we've seen upsets,
Yeah.
happen before, and I do get what you're saying though, but yeah, I think you got to look long term, and if you maybe want to give yourself a chance to potentially, shock the world and make it out of the quarters, and should probably just. But there's also a
Ah,
very good chance Sweden could have walked down and sniped it on the goalie, anyways. So,
yeah.
um, but it was a good showing by Sweden for the most part. Obviously there's a couple hiccups here and there, but
There was a couple guys that
that's
frankly looked bad.
when they're
Like,
probably the most beat up team heading into this tournament.
yeah.
Like they waited till the last hour to name who the injury replacements were because there was a list of guys they were waiting to hear on if they were going to be playing or not. So it's it's definitely a very banged up team.
Like, and there's just so many guys, like watching Zibanejad miss that empty net. Nylander eventually scored a goal. So did Zibanejad actually. But they both,
Yeah.
despite having a goal each in the game, looked pretty bad. There was a lot of chances Nylander had that he was just shooting it past the net, passing when he should shoot, losing it on a deke. Um, there was
Yeah.
definitely a couple of guys who definitely visually had the jitters of some sort. And then Philip Forsberg, he played less than 2 minutes of total ice time,
Oliver Ekman-Larsson
and
didn't play a second.
yeah, and that's rough. And the I don't know if you've seen this, but the Swedish head coach has come out. He doubled down on it. He said Philip Forsberg is not a player who can play in the bottom six role, and if he's not good enough to be in our top six, then he's not playing.
Wow.
So he didn't play him. So he just said Philip Forsberg ain't good enough for the squad.
Jeez.
Holy shit, dude. That's one of your guys.
Yeah, that's
That's
not.
that's got to be one of your top guys, man. So I don't know if it's a personality clash, if it's they don't like the way he plays defensively, if they don't think the offense is there anymore, but that's
I don't.
for a
Yeah, I
team
don't
that's
like that.
already injured and, not the US or Canada, so everyone else is fighting an uphill battle. Like
Hmm.
that's just an extra wrinkle to it that they can't really afford to have. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love
hopefully they
that for
figure out
Sweden.
sooner than later.
Yeah,
I do
absolutely.
believe Forsberg, in his very limited time that game, I believe he did have a turnover that led to a Italy breakaway. So
I'm
when I
not
was
sure. I
watching
missed
the
I
game,
missed the first few minutes of the game.
when I was watching it live, I was like, wow, that's a for a vet like Forsberg, that's a rough turnover to make on some Italian name I've never heard.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, then all of a sudden I was seeing the headlines. I was like, Forsberg didn't play after that, and I was like sitting there thinking back on watch the game. I was like, oh shit, you're right. Like,
Mm, sad
so
amount.
we'll we'll see if he plays against who are they playing next? You say it was Finland.
Finland. Yeah,
It's gonna be a good game.
that'll be a good game. Um, moving on to the games that took place today. For the first game, the game that neither of us were able to catch, Switzerland beating France 4-0. JJ Moser getting a goal. Timo Meyer potting two of his own. Um, I can't really speak to this game too much because they only give you limited highlights from games, which kind of sucks. It's either you got to catch it when they're rerunning the game, or you watch the very limited highlights, and that's
What limited highlights are you seeing? Because I
you
do
just get
know
like the 4 minute like snippets of the game,
okay, because I do
but that
know
doesn't really give you enough.
I I think it's I don't even know who's uploading it on YouTube, but um one channel that's been uploading an official channel. I don't know if it's CBC or whoever, but they've been uploading 10-ish minute highlights of the
Oh,
games. They label them all of them are they label them so officially and like the men's this team versus this team, like it's just the way it's worded is really hard to make sure you're watching the right fucking video because they have like that full game highlights, and then they also have like the exact same title. Then at the very end, brackets, 10 minutes of footage from the first period or the entire third period. So like you have to
mhm.
find the right video that's actually the highlights.
Yeah.
But once you find them, I did watch some of the highlight ones, and they seemed like actual highlight packages. So
Oh, okay. I might have to look into that. Um,
yeah, if I find one, I'll send you a link.
yeah.
But
But that's a good start for Switzerland again, where eh, you're going to be kind of right in that middle crop, and again, kind of on the flip side of Italy pulling their goalie. For Switzerland to get a 4-0 win there, like that's gonna be huge. When you're probably not getting that bye in the quarterfinals, you're probably gonna be one of those top teams. And again, that could be the big difference between playing a potential Latvia versus France again, and where obviously
yeah,
France is the much easier route for Switzerland. So that's good for them to get off to a huge start like that, and good to see Timo Meyer getting a couple on the board because he's been struggling this year. So it's nice to see him getting some results here.
yeah, he's yeah. I mean, though the Devils as a whole have been um, rather rough, but he he turned it on today, and um, I'm trying to find it here because who was the goalie? Leonardo Giannoni is the goalie who got the shutout for Switzerland today. Um,
Yeah,
don't know if he's just a journeyman over in a Swiss league or something, or if he's a prospect, but good for him. And man, it's so goofy looking at these lists. Like just looking at the goaltending. I mean, all of them have played one game, right? So like it's
yeah,
literally a sample size the smallest it can be.
yeah,
Um, but looking at these stats of all the guys at the top: Jordan Binnington, Leonardo Giannoni, Samuel Hlava, Philip Grubauer. Okay, fine. Well, who's at the bottom? Lucas Dostal, Freddie Anderson, UC Saros, Philip Gustafson. Like all the names people watching NHL hockey would know are down there. And
yeah.
at the top, it's a bunch of guys you thought weren't going to be good or guys you've never heard of. Um,
It's the
Clara,
beautiful
did
part of
you
the Olympics.
have you heard an update on Damian Clara, the Italian goalie? Because he
I
was
haven't
playing
heard
really well
anything.
against Sweden until he got
And
injured.
no, I haven't heard anything. But
Yeah,
usually with stuff
hopefully.
like that, no news is usually just is good news. Like
Yeah,
if
if they're
if it
not going
was
to
something like
return,
he's
usually
rolled
it'll
out of
get
the
announced.
tournament, yeah, we probably would have heard, right? So
Right.
leads to good news. Um, we can move on to the next game. I caught parts of this game, did not catch the full game. Germany and Denmark. Germany winning
Uh,
this one by a score of 3-1.
yeah, and Draisaitl scored what, like was like 20 seconds into the game or something,
23
off of
seconds in, yeah.
a pretty nasty tip considering it came from behind him and he was skating the same direction the shot was going.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, this is one of those games where you didn't really know who was going to win. Like it could definitely go either way. I think most
Could
people
go
were
either way.
probably leaning Germany, but uh, I think it was probably the closest matchup we've had so far, and the score
Mhm.
definitely reflected that 3-1. Like, was there an empty
Yeah.
netter as well? Like,
No, no, no. Just a
okay,
classic 3-1 game. Um, yeah, a game that Germany probably should win, and they did win. But yeah, one of those ones that it's going to be a good game for them. But you do kind of at the end of the day expect them to, again, be the ones to come out on top. Yeah,
who?
it's again, it's not even like Denmark. Again, and I didn't see the whole game, but it's not even like Denmark had a bad game. Like they outshot Germany, 38-26. Like they
Yeah,
played a good game. Grubauer again is like Grubauer's good. We should be talking every episode about how good Philip Grubauer is now. Um,
well, we might have
we
to
just
if we
didn't
can keep
get
winning
the
games.
we just didn't get the result in their favor, and again, sometimes that's kind of the way it goes.
Um, do you
They
have
still look
a
good.
specific website? I'm trying to find like I can't find any site that has like box scores or stats. Like,
Sportsnet.
you just go with Sportsnet. Okay.
Sportsnet, the place to be. Yep,
Oh shit, it's
gets
in
it
the
done.
game.
Um,
Lay it on the line.
lay it on the line. Um, yeah, and then obviously for Denmark, they do have to play the U.S. at some point, which isn't going to be, you know, super fun for them. But they do play Latvia, so there is still a chance for them to, put themselves in a good spot. I could see a world where Latvia beats Germany, and if Denmark can beat Latvia and at least somewhat hold their own against the U.S., there's a chance that they could still get into that second spot over uh, Germany.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on with that.
with the seeding tiebreaker if they're tied in points going to goal differential. Do you think there's any chance that any of the higher up teams, like maybe the top 4 or 5 teams in this, Canada, US, Finland, Sweden, maybe Czechia and Slovakia as well, if the game is already seemingly won, do you think there's any chance that they might try and score less or more on certain teams? Like, do you think if the US is
Mm,
up 5-0 already on Germany going into the third, do you think they sit there and go, let's pump these guys for some goals and make it so we're not dealing with them? Or do you think maybe against, if they're already up 4-0 on Italy, like do you think that any team would be like, maybe we'll park the bus a little bit. We're not going to give up gold, but like maybe we won't forecheck as hard. We'll rest up. And also,
no,
if we
I
ended
think
up
it's
playing Italy
full
again
steam
later,
ahead.
we're fine.
No,
Yeah,
I,
you
I
don't
think
think
it's
anyone's even
it's full
thinking
steam
that?
ahead. Because on the flip side, then you run the risk of being like, oh, we'll let off the gas, but Team B decides, no, we're going to keep going. They pass you, and then now potentially you're getting a harder matchup down the
That
road, and
is
they're getting
true.
an easier one.
That is true. It's not just about the other team's record. It is about your goal differential, and you want yours
Yeah.
to be the highest. So,
And more than anything, it is just the Olympics, and just the way the players are talking and
oh
what we saw on the
yeah,
today.
it,
It's
it
like,
would
yeah, I
only this
can't
would be
see
a
a way
coach
that.
thing. Yeah, this is
I think
not
even if the
Cros.
coach said it, I think the players would be like, no, like
Yeah,
it's the
no,
Olympics. We get this once every 4 years. This is our first time here for most guys.
yeah.
We're giving it our all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think even the coaches wouldn't say it. It would be much more of a like, let's play this period for our goalie, kind of thing. And
Hmm.
maybe Suzuki's line is getting double shifted instead of McDavid's line kind of thing, you know? But
Hmm. No, yeah,
I
I do
do
get what
think
you're
you're right.
saying
I
though.
do think you're right. Thinking about your own goal differential is definitely more important than the opponent's. So you want to score the most goals.
Um, 2 games left here. The first one we can do, we can talk about the United States defeating Latvia by a score of 5-1. Did you watch this game?
Sorry, I was just distracted here. They're not counting 3 assists per goal for these Olympics, right?
No.
Then is Jesper Bratt? It says Jesper B. Jensen Abo. Is that Jesper Bratt's full name?
I'm not sure.
There's no comma. Anyway, sorry. Well, we're moving on to US Latvia, correct?
Yeah. Were you able to catch this game?
I caught parts of it. I mostly only got to see the end. I clicked onto the game. I wasn't sure when it started, and it said like it was on one of the like starting soon pages. And I was just like waiting and waiting for it to start, and then I was like, because I wanted to watch it from the start, but then I was like, fine, screw it. I'll just watch it from where it is live. Apparently, they were at like 9 minutes left in the third. I thought they were still early in the game, but apparently it was almost over. So that was a little annoying with the app. But if you got to watch the full game, then you definitely would have seen a little more action than I did.
Yeah. And I mean, typical. The Americans obviously winning this one 5-1. The better team. I do still give Latvia a lot of credit. They bounced back quickly after the Americans got their first goal from Brady Tkachuk, but the Americans probably should have been up 6-1, 7-1 after the first period, and it was a 1-1 game. And that just kind of sums up the game of hockey. A lot of incredible opportunities that they missed. Obviously, the 2 goals that were called back, one for offside, one for goalie interference. And then they hit 3 posts as well, all in the first period. Like, it was just I hate saying it, but it kind of did feel like men against boys at times in the first period. Like, obviously, Latvia did have their moments and shined, but there were portions where the US was just dominating. And it was like...
The skill
how does
the
whistle blow, and it's not because of a goal, basically. It was starting to feel like, but... Started to rack him up in the second period. Brock Nelson, 2 goals. A lot of
he keeps
people
scoring,
were
man.
Not happy. He's what was it, since like December 1st or something? The only player to have more goals than Brock Nelson is like Connor McDavid.
I believe it.
It's like
every time I check the box score, he's got another 2 goals. Like,
yeah,
and obviously because I don't think he'll last getting to play with Jack Hughes too much. I think Jack Hughes was put on that 4th line because he, they weren't sure about his injury. He hadn't even played with the Devils recently, and then
had a great game on that 4th line.
He looked pretty good out there. He's helping out Brock score some goals. I don't think he's going to stay on Brock's line for too long, despite it working. So
what do you do then? How much can you move him up, though? Because again, I'm on the mind.
If he looks healthy, top 6.
So you're putting him with Austin Matthews.
What's the top line?
Well, the top line is
or Matthews.
Eichel with the Tkachuk. With Austin Matthews, let me see who Matthews is with. He was with Gensel
and Thompson. Gensel and Boldy. I could see him replacing Gensel or Boldy, frankly. Move Boldy down, move Jack Hughes up. Like, but all those guys are great. But I mean, if Jack Hughes is on and he's healthy,
are we back to Kyle Connor on the 4th line again? Is that the struggle that the Americans just have? That Kyle Connor just
he can rock a 3rd line with Tage Thompson and Matt Boldy.
So Dylan Larkin to the 4th.
Yeah.
No.
I mind it less than Kyle Connor on the 4th, to be honest. I think Larkin also fairly good defensively. I think he fits a little bit of that role better, and he'll probably also get decent amount of potentially power play time. I think he'll get some penalty kill time as well.
And it's one of those weird ones where I'm not gonna say for Matthew Tkachuk, but for Brady Tkachuk, he's probably like the 8th, maybe ninth most skilled forward on this team.
I was gonna
Like
say
he's
we're
not in the
saying
top
would not
6
break up
most
the line, but
skilled, but man, when that line is out there, they dominate. And it's one of
yeah,
those ones where it's like again, it kind of does suck that Brady Kachuk's in the top 6, even though Jack Hughes is so much better. But it's like when that line's out there, they dominate the game, and it's like why would you why would you break that up if
yeah,
it's just working nonstop? Um,
yeah. And I
I
I
don't
think
think
people
that will.
definitely look too far into what line is this guy on. I mean,
Mhm.
if you take Matthew Kachuk, Brady Kachuk, and Jack Eichel and put them all on the third line, they're gonna play the exact same they did today.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
it's the same line. Like,
but it
you
is
know,
still their best line, their most dominant line when they go out there.
yeah. I don't think it's their peak top line though. I think they
No,
could definitely find line combinations to make a better line than it throughout this tournament. What they just need to figure out basically who the guys are that make up the other better line.
yeah, but
And
again,
I'm
my
not
thing
talking
is
about
you
replacing
don't.
somebody
It
on that
doesn't
line,
matter
but
whether it's line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. All I'm saying is you're
yeah,
not. Don't split up that line. Is
yeah,
basically
no.
the biggest thing I'm saying is,
There's
and
there's
when they're that good,
no way you're
it's.
getting more than Brady Kachuk from anything else. Like,
Mhm.
even if
And
somebody else
you could call them
works
the
better on that
third
line,
line.
you're losing more from Brady Kachuk taking him off that line than you'd gain from putting anyone on that line.
Mhm. Yeah,
So it would
and
be
you
a
could
net
call
loss.
them the third line or fourth line, but when they go out there, they're going to do
They
so
play
good that
more
it's like
like a third
we have to
line.
keep putting them out there because
Yeah.
we're controlling the play every time they're out there. So then just naturally gonna get more time. So, but again, like for the Americans, that's not a bad problem to have to have so many
No.
good forwards. It's like, man, how do we stick one on the fourth line? Because they're still going to get playing time. And you know, at the end of the day, if these guys win a gold medal, that's all they care about. That's
Yeah.
really what it comes
In the
down to at the end of the day. It's
yeah, in the Olympics, you're playing with a top 9 instead of a top 6, and then you have one third line. That's
yeah.
actually your fourth line, basically. Like, it's not the same as
Hmm.
in other places, and yeah, like, we were just talking about it with Philip Forsberg, like, their head coach is not looking at it the right way.
Yeah.
He can't play with these top in this top 6 the way I want. So there's no way to deploy him properly, he cannot touch the ice. Well, that's not that's not what your job is. Your job is to find where he can play in the lineup and put him out there correctly. So it's yeah, it's definitely a weird situation there, but I definitely think there is a very good chance that they end up putting Jack Hughes with Austin Matthews, and I could see that working very easily, regardless of who the third guy is on that line.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I
No,
could definitely see that being really good.
I'm kind of there with you. Um, Again, one of those games that like there's not a whole lot to say because it kind of went exactly as we expected. The Americans
Yeah,
win. Latvia gets their at least one goal. Um, and it's kind of just a typical run of the mill game that we'd kind of expect from one of the best countries versus a country that's kind of pulled themselves out from being the bottom feeder to starting to at least keep games close. And
yeah.
that's exactly what we got out of this one. So, with all that being said, we can move on to the one game that I'm sure everybody wants to
One
hear our
other
thoughts
thing
on.
One
Oh,
other thing with that one, just regarding the US roster, because I actually don't know the answer to this. Who were the scratches for this game? Do you know? Because I don't, but I do know that Vincent Trocheck got an assist, and obviously Brock Nelson scored. So they were both in the game, and I know they were some of the front candidates for a lot of people to be scratched. Like, was Kyle Connor? Did he play?
um,
JT Miller might have not been in.
fuck, who wasn't playing?
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
actually not
see.
sure.
We might be able to find that out later if we don't have it here.
Yeah,
But
who the hell didn't play for them?
USA healthy scratches. Clayton Keller.
Oh, Keller. Yes,
Keller was definitely one, and Jackson Lacombe. Okay.
Jackson McCall. Keller. That's right. For some reason, he wasn't even showing up on their lineup. Like usually they include the scratches. He wasn't even on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked there. Yeah.
But yes, yeah, that absolutely is there too. Um, Now, with that being said, we can move on to Team Canada. Connor McDavid, first time ever playing in the Olympics. Um, Always looks good seeing when he's representing Team Canada. And Canada, a 5-0 win over Czechia to kickstart the tournament.
Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Oh, it sounds so good. That's the silence emanating from all the Jordan Binnington deniers. Dude,
Yeah,
like, and I'm
yeah,
already seeing it online. A lot of people being like, "Oh, you think it would have been different with Logan Thompson?" Yeah, I think it would have been 5-1 or 5-2. I think we still would have won handily. He had to make some saves in that game. If you think it
yeah,
was an easy walk to a shutout, you weren't watching the right game.
yeah. And
They got some
it's
shots in there.
yeah, Binnington played great, and again, yeah, had to make some saves, and it's so weird, right? Because obviously we know, and those who listen know that we've been Jordan Binnington defenders since Four Nations.
In
We
the big
said,
game specifically.
yeah,
We have
in
not
the
been
big
shy about
games.
saying he sucks in the regular season.
Um,
But as far as this goes,
but even like last year, we were going into Four Nations, and people had their concerns of Binnington and whatnot, and he went out there and played his ass off and was phenomenal in that final game against the Americans. And then it kind of felt like, okay, so when we come around to this time next year at the Olympics, we won't have to worry about the goaltending. And then still, they say Jordan Binnington, and people are like, why not Logan Thompson? And again, it's no disrespect to Logan Thompson, like great
no,
goalie.
we love him.
But
He's
all of a sudden,
great,
everybody went back to being like, oh, Binnington's awful. Like we can't go with them. It's like, well, what does this guy have to do for people to be like, you know what, we trust you. We
right?
we know you'll
And
get the job done. I mean, you haven't done anything in the big moments to convince people otherwise that he can't get it done.
yeah, and I was already pretty thoroughly convinced after Four Nations. But for me, any doubt I had was erased in Game 7 versus the Jets. He obviously ended up
Mm.
losing that game. I am aware, but man, I watched that game and he was
Did
playing
everything he
Conn
could to
Smythe level
keep the
hockey.
Blues, yeah, to even just give the Blues a chance. Yeah,
The first goal the Blues or the Jets scored was literally I've literally looked up some of the best I could find online. For my money, the greatest deflected goal we've seen in the sport. I don't think I've ever seen a more
Joe Pavel. I'll
beautiful
find a
tipping
couple
goal.
Pavelski ones. That man was a
Yeah,
wizard.
and don't get me wrong, I am not saying Cole Perfetti's the best deflector, like, that's insane, but the shot was it was like a shot designed for a deflection that was gonna hit the boards 11 feet wide and got tipped perfectly
It
into
was
the
it was
corner
pretty
under
good.
the bar. Like, they needed something supernatural like that to beat him, and then I think they needed 2 goals to tie it up in the last 2 minutes. I think one was another crazy deflection, and then one was a shot through a ton of traffic with like, well, I think it was point 0.1 seconds left. Like he was playing out of his mind in that game, and that really cemented it as like, okay, so like now we know for sure when the big games come up, he is going to ball the fuck out.
Yeah,
And
26 save shutout here to open
yeah,
the Olympics.
it,
When
it it is now his net to lose. And
Yeah. So do you
yeah,
remember when? Because I was just reading about this earlier today. Do you remember when Tampa was on that incredible streak and then they lost it? Well, they had that shoot. They lost their win streak because that happened in
yes,
St. Louis.
yeah,
So I was reading how John Cooper called up Binnington and met up with him at like a restaurant or a bar or something, and I guess they had a couple pints of Guinness and whatnot, and
Oh
basically
hell
just
yeah.
sat down with Binnington and just told him like because this was already after the rosters were announced because this was like in
Yeah, this
January,
was early January.
and he basically just sat down with Binnington and just affirmed his belief in him and that he's the guy and they're putting their trust in him and they have no doubts in him. So Binnington kind of already knew weeks in advance that he was going to be the starter because the head coach went out of his way to meet up and be like, hey, it's obviously a very rough season here in St. Louis, but you're our guy. You've got the job done, and you're going to have the opportunity to prove that you can do it again. And then what does he do? He comes out 5-0 shutout against a good Czechia team too. Like it's not like he did it against again, no offense, but like a France or an Italy. Like he went up against the hardest team in Canada's own division and blanked them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, I think he's again just continues to prove the haters wrong and the people that doubt him wrong, and that's huge for Canada. And now I will say I do think Logan Thompson will get the start in Canada's game tomorrow.
Yeah. He's gonna get to play.
Darcy Kemper probably even is the backup, and it's just Binnington. Hey, go rest up, and
yeah,
you come back in for our third game, and then he's probably the guy going forward.
It is now Binnington's net to lose to the point where, like, if Logan Thompson doesn't let in a single goal for the rest of this tournament every time he plays, he still doesn't get the net unless Binnington is bad enough to allow him enough games that takes over.
Yeah.
Like, even if he gets a shutout the next game, it's okay. Binnington's still our guy until he crumbles. Yeah, he's proven to be that guy yet again. And again, Cooper had a great quote after the game, saying that one of the reporters asked him when was it that Jordan Binnington cemented himself as your starter for this tournament, and he said about 358 days ago or something like that, clearly referring to the gold medal game or the finals of the Four Nations. So, yep. I mean, it's relatively easy for a guy whose goalies in his 15+ year career at the top level of hockey have been Ben Bishop, Andrei Vasilevsky, and internationally Jordan Binnington. It's pretty easy for him to have a lot of confidence in his guys, but yeah.
No, absolutely.
At least for Team Canada, Binnington's given us no reason to question him.
Yeah.
Him in a St. Louis Blues jersey?
Kind of almost just makes you wonder, is St. Louis just that fucking bad?
I mean, what's their goal differential? It's like minus 39 or something. Aren't they second last in the league?
I think they might be last at this point.
No, I don't think anybody's touching Vancouver. They're like 8 points back of second last, I think. They're brutal.
Yeah.
But we can, as far as the goal scoring of this game,
Nathan MacKinnon got the party started early, but unfortunately was called back due to a tripping penalty by Nick Suzuki. So that goal comes off the board.
What a goon!
What a goon, man!
Did this game confirm that it was just John Cooper fucking around with the media with those early on lines? Because a lot of the lines were very different.
I think it was just trying out some different things.
Okay.
And I think more than anything, just trying out guys in certain positions, not necessarily the line combinations, I think. Because you do have a lot of guys that are kind of transitioning and playing a different position than what they've played almost their whole career. And I think that's kind of part of what it was, just getting guys comfortable in their spots more than anything. And once he figured out where everyone could play, then it's, all right, here's the lineups we're going to go with. I think. It's kind of the way I felt about it.
It took this one game for me to turn around on this player. And I like this player already, but I was adamant he needed to play at center. I loved watching Nick Suzuki as a winger. Holy shit. Him and Hagel were a pair this game, and they played the first 2 periods on McKinnon's wings, and then they got actually promoted somehow from Nathan MacKinnon to McDavid's wings for a couple, not even the full third period, but a couple shifts. So frankly, it
Shifts,
might have
yeah.
been just McDavid getting double shifted into that spot.
And one, it is also you do
But
also
there,
do have the rotating player, which was Sam Bennett too. You're kind of filtering in
right,
and out.
yeah, and man, Hagel and Suzuki together, really good defensively, and also they're just hounds getting the puck out for whoever they're with.
Mhm.
Great on the puck retrievals. Like, I don't care if you're going to keep that as a winging pair together. I don't care who's centering that line. That's awesome. That
Yeah,
was
no,
fun to watch.
absolutely. Um, Kind of gets their first
Third
goal.
line, it's great too.
Um, Macklin Celebrini. That was probably my
Was it on the power play?
favorite. No, no, even
Okay.
strength. This one. This was I think my favorite line to watch in this game for Team Canada, and just seeing how much of a nightmare it is for defensemen to play against, because you have the defense in your own end. You either have Connor McDavid, which it's Connor McDavid, that's enough to scare anyone. You've got
Yeah.
Celebrini coming in at full speed and just hounding you for the puck, or you've got Tom Wilson coming in to crunch you. And
Tom Wilson didn't even lay
was
the
a
biggest hit on that line. Dude,
yeah,
McDavid blew somebody the fuck up in the corner.
yeah,
He
McDavid
beat the
and
shit
McKinnon
out of
both
some dude.
laying the body early and getting the team going early, which is you love to see, and that just kind of
Yeah.
shows the passion that they're bringing into this. But here's what's crazy:
Uh,
over the
did you
last,
just regarding that hit? Did you see Tom Wilson's comments on it after the game?
I did, but I
He
can't remember exactly what it
he
was.
got to the bench and Marchand came over and said, "Hey, way to lay the fucking body." And he goes, "I haven't laid a hit yet. That was McDavid."
Oh, okay, I didn't see
Because
that one then.
because Marchand just saw a huge hit and saw Wilson come off the ice after a bit. And he was like, "No,
Oh,
that was Connor." Like,
so this is
it's pretty
just
fun.
over the last, what's this about? 3.5 years.
Okay.
Macklin Celebrini makes a jump from AAA hockey to the USHL. He scores in his USHL debut. A year later, he makes a jump all the way up to the NCAA, the college level. He scores in his NCAA debut. A year later, he's now in the NHL and he scores in his NHL debut. And now, about a year and a half after that, he scores in his Olympic debut. So in the span of about 3.5 years, he's gone from scoring his first goal in the USHL all the way to scoring in his Olympic debut.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely insane.
He is
That
he
is
is fat
truly insane how quickly
he
he
is
has
fast
developed.
tracking getting that generational tag for sure. Like he is
Yeah.
uh yeah, he's been absolutely unreal. And like I don't want to compare them too much because they're going to get compared enough and they're both so good individually. Um but just seeing the success that Celberni's having does just drive the knife a little bit deeper on, man, Bedard would have been sick with this team as well. And
Yeah.
like we're not hurting for talent out there, but like especially when you have the top guys who are able to like hit like that and stuff too. Did we need Sam Bennett? That couldn't have been a Bedard. I don't know, but it's not like it hurt the team here. A 5-0 win.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah. And Mark Stone
Great tip from Celebrini.
from, yeah, this is a great way to get it going. Second period, Mark Stone off a great pass from Marner, and Sidney Crosby, obviously the one getting the puck into the zone. Bo Horvat scoring a awesome breakaway goal off a great pass from Marchand.
Going
Um,
5-hole on him.
we knew it was coming eventually. Nathan McKinnon. They only have from Connor McDavid on here, but I'm pretty sure Crosby also got an
It
assist on it.
Crosby did get an assist on it. Yeah.
So I don't know why, but McKinnon from Crosby and McDavid on the power play. We knew that was coming. And then Nick Suzuki from McDavid and Harley. So we got to go from every single forward line and one on the power play.
Yeah.
It's not bad to
Like
start it off for guys that don't have a history of playing together, and you get a goal from every single line. And I mean, you knew they were going to get at least one on the power play. With that power play,
Oh
they
yeah,
can't really hold them off. But that shows that Canada's they've got goal
dude.
scoring all the way throughout their lineup. They've got great two-way plan throughout their lineup. The physicality. I mean, if that's what McDavid, McKinnon are going to be bringing every game with Tom Wilson, Marchand, Bennett, they're going to be fine in
Hagel
the
was throwing
physicality
the
department.
body a lot.
Hagel,
I
yeah.
didn't know Suzuki threw the body that much either. Celebrini was getting in there, like he's not blowing anybody up, but he's mixing it up in there for sure. Like
Hmm.
there was not a lot of guys that weren't laying it on him.
Yeah.
Um,
No one was being a perimeter player, really. Like
um,
everybody's getting into the
obviously not
fight.
obviously not a perimeter player. Um, but Josh Morrissey did not finish this game. He got injured. I think it was sometime in the first period, and
Didn't
didn't
return.
didn't return. Um, I believe they kept him on the bench. I don't think they ruled him out until the start of the third. So that at least makes me feel better of like they thought maybe he could come back for the second.
Hmm.
So it wasn't something where he went to the back and immediately was like, shit, I can't go. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's not out for too long.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're past the point of being able to add any more players to the roster. So
Yeah. It's
um,
not like Four Nations where you can bring
injuries
extras.
will injuries are gonna eat into your roster a good bit if they pile up at
Yeah.
all. So we'll keep an eye on that. Um, one other thing I noticed, and I loved that because I wouldn't have seen this, but the camera crew and the announcers, the commentary, did a great job of highlighting this. I think it was actually might have been in between periods in the intermission, but there was one time where the other team, Czechia, they were getting right up on it. They were kind of digging for a rebound, pretty good, and Binnington cleared it. You know, he handled it. And I think it was Harley goes over and he's shoving this guy back. He's giving him the business. In the NHL, you would have assumed they're about to drop the gloves. And Binnington like visibly like kind of steps out, holds out his block, and he's yelling like, "Don't worry about it. Like this shit ain't worth it." And
Mhm.
it's like,
That's coming from
uh,
Jordan Binnington.
that's what I'm thinking. Like, not only are we talking about his skill is clearly there in these big games, but when have you ever seen this man be that level-headed? To be
Yeah.
like, "Don't worry about it. He's not worth it." I was
Yeah.
like, "That's we might be seeing a little bit of maturity out of Jordan Binnington." Like, him being like, "Don't worry about it.
Winning the
I'm
Four
not worried
Nations
about
will
him.
do that.
I'm not worried about him digging for it. You don't need to worry about it." Like, because if they face the Americans in the finals, like, after every whistle, they're gonna, the
Yeah.
Kachucks, they're gonna be digging in there for a rebound that might not even be there. Like,
Yeah. When Jordan
it
Binnington
looks like he's prepared
gets
to keep his
dialed
cool.
in though and he gets in the zone, he's not into those antics. It's only when the game's getting messy or getting out of hand, but like when he's just playing good hockey and he's dialed in, he's calm. And
Yeah,
he can get the job done. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if guys keep trying to agitate him, if he'll eventually bite in on that or if he'll remain calm. And I think he'll be cool. He'll be relaxed and I have no worries. Look how calm I am.
he's so
Because I know
calm.
I have Jordan Binnington as my goalie.
Yeah, and
Doesn't get any better than
Logan
that.
Thompson, bit of a better
Yeah,
backup as well. So
absolutely. Overall, like skill wise, Logan Thompson probably the better goalie. But Binnington gets it done.
I wouldn't even say probably. I'd say he is a better goalie on average, but
Yeah.
we're not. You don't win gold medals playing an average game. You play.
Need the guy that wins the game.
We didn't bring Bruce Banner. That's regular season Binnington. We brought the Hulk, which is him when it matters.
Yeah.
Like
In the big
that's just how
moments.
it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We already talked about the fact that it happened, but I just wanted to highlight as well how fucking nasty that pass was from McDavid to McKinnon on that power play goal. He
Yeah.
just slowly creeps right into the goalie's kitchen, and as soon as the goalie and Gudis and two other defensemen bite on him, just a little chip to McKinnon. Eh,
Yeah.
Free
It just
goal
makes
for
it look
McKinnon.
so
Like,
easy. Yeah.
I wonder when McKinnon gets back, and they're back in Colorado, if he's gonna go to Natchez and be like, "Do this." He's gonna like be looking at him on the iPad, like, "Fucking just do that. Just do
Yeah.
that." Like,
I
the
will
one
say
thing Colorado doesn't have this year is a power play, and it's like,
yeah.
fuck. with some of the skill they have. They are,
Yeah.
not everyone should be doing McDavid shit, but he's probably like, "Fuck, that was easy."
I will say in this game, and I do still think Czechia did play a pretty good game overall. Like I did think there was moments where there was clear kind of collapses in their game, but overall for the most part, I think they still actually played a respectable game. Um,
Mm.
if David Pastrnak didn't have all that tape on his legs to kind of make the candy cane, I wouldn't have really noticed him much. It's kind of the only way I could identify him because he didn't have the greatest game. You still noticed him at times out there, but
There was
it
times
wasn't like
it's just
Pasternak came out and it's just like you're like, oh fuck, like someone get on.
yeah.
It's like it just kind of felt off a bit tonight for me. Maybe that's parts of do with playing with different line mates
I
or
think it's
just the
just he has
overall
to carry
stress of
his
it. Or
team a
but
decent
he was
bit
playing with
against
good players when he was
no,
out
but
there.
against a squad like Team Canada, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
but I
know,
mean a line of um when like Bo Horvat, Brad Marchand, and who are they with? Fuck, who's that? Oh, Sam
uh
Reinhart. Like,
Reinhardt.
yeah.
Jesus
Could have been
Christ.
anyone. Okay, just say Sam Bennett's rotating in there. Sam Bennett rotates in on that line for a shift. You're
It's
telling me
just a
that
crazy
Martin
fourth line.
Necas, David Pasternak, and Tomas Hertl can't create some havoc for 40 seconds in the offensive zone?
Oh well, yeah, but they're not out there at the same time.
You got a
It's
line
John
match
Cooper.
in
It's
there.
John. No, it's John Cooper, baby. I'm just gonna assume that he's already outline matched you.
Yeah, it's yeah. Especially when you can
But
roll out
yeah, I
Crosby
do know
and
there was one
on one
play.
line, Suzuki on another, with Hagel, Horvat. I mean, yeah, it is
There
tough, but
was one play where I was like, "Holy fuck!" I forgot Pasternak's in the game, where he grabbed the puck at his blue line, and he he did a straight out of the NHL games deke around one guy, put it I think between the next guy's legs. He dangled the fuck out of three guys on Team Canada, and then he actually got close enough. I thought he was going to rip a shot from like kind of the high circle, and he tried passing it and it got picked off. So obviously
mm,
it went nowhere. But I remember it when that happened. I was like, if he lets loose a shot and it's in, that's highlight reel. That's everywhere. Like he
yeah,
was going through
that
some
is
dudes.
yeah,
And I don't know who it was, but doesn't matter. It's three guys on Team Canada. They're all good players.
yeah.
I
Um,
really like that third line. I was not a fan of taking Crosby off of McKinnon's wing or anything, and putting him on that third line center role. But
yeah,
Stone, Marner, Crosby, that was a real nice line.
that was a fun line. The lines were
And
good, honestly. Like I know people were,
Crosby's worked well with Stone in the past. Marner
yeah,
and Stone are on the same team now. Like there's some
they
built-in
showed their
chemistry there.
chemistry there on that goal. Like
Yeah.
it,
A rather similar pass to McDavid's to McKinnon. Obviously not on the
yeah,
power play and they were moving, but still kind of that cross crease saucer pass to get over the everybody
yeah,
sticks blocking it.
yeah. No, like there's just so many things to like with Canada's game, and no, I'm sure there'll be over the next couple of games. I'm sure there'll be moments that maybe we don't like and we can discuss. But great start to the tournament for them. For for the Americans beating Latvia, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Slovakia. It always feels good to start the tournament with a win. Unfortunately,
Oh
half the
yeah.
teams can do that, but um, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next batch of games tomorrow, and it's just nice seeing NHL players back finally.
Yep. Absolutely. That was my thing. As soon as I got because the very first game I watched was I believe I watched Sweden, Italy, and then I went back and watched Slovakia, Finland. Um, and I just got like 5 minutes into the game before being like, I'm still having a good time because I'm happy I'm watching this. But it was hard not to get mad at the fact that Gary Bettman deprived us of this for 12 years for no reason other than politicking and to be a dick. Like, man, we could have been having this the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
we've definitely been missing out on this. That's for sure.
but thank God it's back, man. Shit's so good.
But we can move on. We only got 2 things left here. Every week we do the weekly mock trade, but you had a second one you wanted to bring to the table this week for this episode.
Yeah.
So I'll just throw it over to you and let's hear what you got.
Yeah. So this is not a fully fleshed out one. There's definitely going to be areas where maybe this team needs another pick or this team should retain or something. But I believe the bones of a deal is here in regards to what teams want. Um, I've already looked at all the players involved, and I believe all of them should be able to be traded to these teams. Like I was looking at guys who have no trade protection and all that.
Mhm.
And most of the guys, if they have any, it's pretty low. And the teams they're going to aren't teams that they would be vetoing. At least I'm assuming not. Like one of the guys on here has an 8-team no trade list. And the team I have him going to, I would be very shocked if that was one of the 8. But and I'm very interested to your reaction to this. So, in this trade, the Calgary Flames receive Michael Haig and Matthew Savoy. The Canadians receive Nazem Kadri and Jordan Binnington. The St. Louis Blues receive David Reinbacher, Josh Anderson, and probably a second round pick from Montreal. The Oilers receive Patrick Laine, 50% retained by the Flames. This is a 4-team trade. So the big pieces that are getting moved here are Kadri and Binnington from the Flames and the Blues going to the Canadians. Um, the big reason that this came up in my mind was if this was basically in the scenario where, because obviously we can't trade right now, this is in the scenario where Canada wins gold and Binnington is Binnington in this tournament.
Yeah.
And it's like the Blues are like, okay, what are we doing here? We got to cash in on this freaking value. Like, we don't even know if he's our goalie of the future. His value's never been higher. He's got 2 years left, so we're giving him away with some term. Let's try and get something for him. And the Canadians, they have their goalies of the future, but goaltending this season, they only have one guy that's even above league average, and he's like at league average.
Yeah.
So this is kind of just a rental goalie, and then obviously Nazem Kadri. But the Canadians do not have the cap space to bring in Kadri and Binnington without retention.
Yeah.
But they would if they're sending out Josh Anderson to the Blues and Patrick Laine's money, which Patrick Laine would be going to Calgary, retained on, and then flipped to the Oilers. So the Flames get Matthew Savoy back. Then they're also sending the Flames Michael Hage. Honestly, I love this for for 3 of the teams. I don't know about the Blues. It depends if
See,
they think they
I
could
don't know
retain.
about it for Edmonton.
Okay,
Is
because
for the most part, all the
Edmonton,
other
luckily,
pieces,
is
it
the easiest
makes
team.
sense. It kind of works. But Edmonton, I'm like, I just don't think they'd go for a Patrick Laine.
You
Just
don't
because
think they're
that's a
still
huge
trying to chase
gamble.
somebody that's a? I mean, it's only 1 year left on his deal. He would be 50% retained by Calgary, so it cost him
Yeah, but
4.3
you're trading Savoy for Laine though, on the hopes that Laine turns it around.
on the hopes
I'd
that
rather see them go on
he's
a different direction for a guy that's playing good now. I
yeah,
think.
fair.
It's kind of my only thing. Like it's not like Line is an awful fit.
Yeah,
I just don't think he makes sense for what they should be going after.
yeah. It felt like he's a guy that could potentially be that fit that they keep bringing more and more guys in to be. They thought Isaac Howard was going to be the top 6 winger to finally play alongside Draisaitl. They thought Arvidsson, they thought Mangiapane would be that guy, and like they just haven't been able to find a guy that can stick with them. And you know, there's a lot of things Liney does do and doesn't do, but the one thing he does do is score goals. And if Draisaitl can set him up properly, like he Might be able to
He
do
scores
it.
power
It
play
also
goals.
true. He
And
doesn't.
Edmonton
He
doesn't
definitely
need
doesn't score
help on
near
the
as much
power
5
play.
No.
Like their power play is
Yeah.
it's their top unit, and maybe the second unit gets to smell the ice during a power play
Yeah.
in the playoffs, pretty much. Um, for Montreal, I don't hate that. I think it's an improvement on their team now, especially if they are trying to win this season. And again, they for St. Louis, you're taking a bit of a swing on Reinbacher, hoping he pans out. What was it? You're getting Josh Anderson a second.
Josh Anderson in a second. Josh Anderson's
Assuming,
mostly to make the money work.
yeah,
Josh Anderson, I believe, is the guy who has either a 6 or an 8 team no trade list. I can't imagine the St. Louis Blues were on there in the offseason when he put in the list. Um,
and
usually it's
they
a
could
lot of Canadian
potentially
teams, Buffalo,
the
stuff like
Blues
that.
the Blues could flip him and
That's what
get
I'm
some if
thinking.
they
They have
wanted. They
0
could.
retention slots taken up.
Mhm.
They could easily flip him retained.
I like the basis of this deal, though.
Yeah, that was my main thought, and I was like,
I mean, especially for Calgary, but also for Calgary. So what? So they'd be getting Matthew Savoy just to retain on line A.
yeah, it's basically a 3-team trade between the Flames, Blues, and Canadians, and then also the Flames are getting Line A, but then immediately retaining and shipping him to Edmonton for Savoy.
Mm,
So if you don't like it for Edmonton, they're the easiest guys to cut out of this, frankly. The only thing is the Flames would probably just have to take Patrick Line A back to make the money work,
yeah,
which they might be able to retain on Line A and send him somewhere else if Edmonton doesn't want him, or
yeah.
send him to Edmonton for a second rounder or something.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think the
So
basis of the deal though could make sense, and yeah, especially if Canada does win gold, St. Louis probably does look to move Binnington pretty quick while the value is high. So I like it.
yeah, I wanted to find a way where the Oilers are the one who get Binnington in this deal, but I just don't know if they have enough heart left to move their goalie carousel one more time this season.
Yeah, yeah, I think that the ship is sailing. I think they kind of gotta stick. I think they're gonna just stick with where they're at with the goalies, even though probably isn't the best spot, but it is Edmonton, so
But yeah, the way
what can you do?
the way the Habs have been playing this year, if they all of a sudden had Kadri and Binnington going into these playoffs, like that
It's a
would
good upgrade. It's a great upgrade net and a great upgrade for your second line center.
they probably jump to be a would they be a top 3 team in the East in the playoffs?
I wouldn't have that high, no.
The Lightning, the Hurricanes, and is number 3 even like do we even know who that is right now?
That's
Like
actually a good point. It's a good
it's
point.
so different with the Leafs and the Panthers falling off seemingly this year. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
And that's
wide
actually
open.
a good point, yeah.
Every team's
Still gotta wait to
competitive,
see
but the
on
very
Ottawa.
top teams.
If Ottawa can get some goaltending, look out for them.
That's true. If
Um,
Binnington goes to Ottawa, that would be rough for Allmark though, who has been playing well lately.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
for the sake
that's the deal.
of getting this episode wrapped up before the 2 hour mark, we'll move on into our final segment. But I do applaud you for a second
Yeah,
weekly mock trade. I definitely do like the basis of that deal for all teams involved, and it means Canada won gold, so that's even better.
exactly.
That's the best part of that whole thing. Um, Move on to our final segment here. We always love to wrap things up with a fun game, and today we have categories. And
Okay.
I rank this one as an easy. I think that's why I'm going to do it this one going forward. 'Cause this is probably the
Okay.
most difficult game we do. I'm going to put it in the easy category for today.
Okay.
For those who don't know the game categories, pretty simple. Today we have players, all players who are currently playing in the Olympics, by the way. And it's pretty
Ooh.
simple. 4 fit the mold, 1 doesn't. Braden's got to figure out who doesn't fit and why, along with you at home. Pretty simple.
Who is the freak that doesn't belong?
Let's dive into it.
Who's getting
First
voted
up,
off the island?
Captain Canada, Sidney Crosby. back in the Olympics where he belongs, looking as beautiful as ever.
As always.
Next up, we have the wrecking ball himself, Connor McDavid.
All right.
Next up, the goon of Team Canada, Nick Suzuki.
Okay.
Next up, we got the greatest goal scorer on the Americans, Austin Matthews.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to
we have
think. I'm trying to
Rasmus
think if I
Dahlin.
could. Okay. I was trying to think if I could guess who the last guy was based on what I thought the criteria would be.
I didn't give you the
I would not have.
opportunity.
I wouldn't have done it anyway.
You're an honest man.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was it might still
What do you
be.
know?
I might have figured it out. When
right.
I didn't have Dahlin, I was thinking maybe it's guys who have captained a Canadian team, because obviously they're all captains, but Crosby's the captain of the Penguins. McDavid, Suzuki, Matthews, that's the Habs, the Leafs, and the Oilers. And Rasmus Dahlin, that would make 2 captains of American teams. However, Crosby is the captain of literal Team Canada. Does that count? So maybe Rasmus Dahlin's the odd man out and is not a captain of a Canadian team. 3 of them Canadian NHL teams, and then Crosby just the Canadian Olympic team. I mean, you could definitely also just go like one's a defenseman, but even though you said it's
like
easy,
that.
I was gonna say, you said it's easy.
That would be
that's
very,
easy.
very,
That's
very,
that's
very, very easy.
That's relegation league easy. That's
Yeah.
that's how you change the.
That's when
the
you've
format
lost
forever.
for like 5 months straight in every game, and I just need to give you a win.
Yeah, it's just an ego play at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, neither Suzuki or Dahlin have won the Hart. The other 3 have. I got to imagine it's being captain for a Canadian team. 3 of them the NHL, 1 of them at the Olympics. So I'm going to lock that in. I think Rasmus Dahlin is the odd man out, as he is not the captain of a Canadian team.
I like the path you're on. It's a really good path.
That's
So
not what you're
good.
thinking?
And I didn't even think of that. Didn't even cross my mind.
I thought it was a little tricky.
That was
there.
That was good though, actually. So you started to list off, I'm like, shit, that actually is good. It was as simple as Nick Suzuki is the only captain that did not go first overall.
Oh, okay. You know what?
It was just something as simple as.
You'd think with those names up there, I would have thought. Honestly,
I'm surprised I never even heard a first overall out of your mouth, because usually that's something you go to as
I never
draft
even mentioned
positions.
It. And you know what? I think maybe it's because I got sidetracked because I thought I'd figured it out with the Canadian thing, but
no, maybe.
Especially
if I put them in a different order.
Rasmus Dahlin being in there, it's like I knew he was first overall.
Yeah, I did like the path you were on though. That would have been a good one.
Yeah. I'll take like a half victory on that, because what I said was technically true, but
I'll absolutely give that to you. I'll always give you points if you can actually come up with a credible one that makes sense and is absolutely.
That still makes sense. That isn't like a massive reach.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you get cool
5 guys you could figure something out.
Yeah. But we are at the end of the episode here. We do thank all of you for tuning in. If you want to let us know your thoughts on what's going on in the Olympics or anything we discussed in this episode, you can do so through any of the socials or over on YouTube, where Braden will reply to your comments and such with those fingers right there. Those fingers right there. And if you want to see those fingers, you can only do so on YouTube or potentially some of the socials. Maybe I'll bless some people if Canada wins tomorrow and post some pictures of your fingers. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. I'm not very consistent with that, but hey, you never know. But that is it for this episode. Braden, you know what time it is. I'm starting to slowly lose my voice after a long day. But before we
Yep.
do, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. The kid, Jordan Binnington, is back. He's in Olympic form. At least he was for game 1. And man, I cannot wait till tomorrow so we can watch another game. These Olympics are
Absolutely.
already so fun. Can't wait to see him keep on rolling.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It truly is awesome, and I will also say I will throw it out there. You know, there was all these concerns about the ice and the arena and whatnot. I haven't noticed anything. I'm just watching good
Nope.
hockey at the end of the day.
Yep. 100%.
The biggest thing was just as long as there's an arena, we're going to get good quality hockey, and that's exactly what we're getting here.
Yep.
And I can't wait for the next games. Keep an eye out on the YouTube. There might be some kind of special Olympic stuff that'll not be on the podcast here, along with some more good handshake, great handshake on Sundays as always. So you can keep an eye out for those. But that is it for this episode. One final time. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, we will see all of you out on the ice next week.